Hey everybody, this is Mr. Mazzoro again, and today I want to talk about our fourth benthic region, continental shelves. This is kind of a short lesson. There's not too much to talk about in terms of the benthic environment with continental shelf. We're going to spend a lot more time talking about the pelagic organisms that live in continental shelf communities in the next unit, but we will talk a little bit now about the benthic environment of a continental shelf. And we'll start with the two different things that cover a continental shelf, what the two different continental shelf communities are, and how what covers the continental shelf determines what types of primary producers you see there. So let's begin. So very simple. There are two basic types of continental shelf communities. There's hard bottom continental shelf communities that are made out of rock. And then there's soft bottom continental shelf communities that are made out of sediment, sand, silt, and clay. Hard bottom continental shelf communities are usually the extensions of rocky shores, and soft bottom continental shelf communities are usually the extension of sediment covered shores. Why that's important is because that's going to determine what types of primary producers you see in that area, which is going to determine what type of primary consumers and secondary consumers you see there as well. On a soft bottom continental shelf community, you see lots and lots of seagrass. Why? Because seagrass is a true marine plant. It can root in the soft sediment. You don't see any marine algae, kelp, seaweed at all. Because if you remember, those organisms, kelp and seaweed, do not have roots. They have holdfasts, and holdfasts need to hold on to something. You can't hold on to sediment, and so you can't be on a soft bottom continental shelf. Seagrass is eaten by manatees and turtles and grazers of all kinds, and as a result, these are the types of organisms you see occupying soft bottom continental shelf communities. On a hard bottom continental shelf community, you get mostly seaweed because it has a holdfast that's designed to hold on to the hard sediment. It couldn't hold on to the soft sediment. More to the point, you don't get any seagrass because grass can't root into rock. It needs to root into sediment. You don't have very many manatees and sea turtles. In fact, you have practically no manatees and sea turtles in these areas. Instead, you have organisms that are designed to eat kelp. These guys, urchins. Urchins are going to be your main grazers on hard bottom communities, whereas grazing organisms like sea turtles and manatees are going to be your main primary consumers on soft bottom continental shelf communities. Urchins have a very unique relationship with otters on a hard bottom continental shelf community. Otters actually are the main predator of urchins. They'll swim down to the bottom, grab an urchin, grab a rock, smack its shell open on their stomach, and then eat the meat from the inside. When there's a healthy otter community in an area, urchins are kept in check, and as a result, kelp forests grow in abundance. But if something predates the otters, something like killer whales or humans, there's not enough otters to eat the urchins. The urchins grow out of control, and as a result, they overgraze on kelp, and they destroy that entire kelp forest, that entire kelp ecosystem. Lots of otters means a healthy kelp forest, a healthy hard-bottom continental shelf community. Few otters means a very poor kelp forest, a very unhealthy hard-bottom continental shelf community. Just by looking at how many otters there are, you can determine the overall health of this ecosystem. That's known as a keystone species. Anytime you can look at one species and determine from the population of that one species the overall health of an entire ecosystem, that's known as a keystone species. And otters are actually a keystone species for hard-bottom continental shelf communities because they eat the main grazers of kelp, urchins. Believe it or not, that's it. We talked about the two different types of continental shelf communities, hard bottom, soft bottom. Soft bottom is seagrass, hard bottom is kelp. And then we finished up talking about how you have mostly grazers like sea turtles and manatees on soft bottom, whereas hard bottom you have urchins that are kept in check by sea otters, the keystone species of hard bottom continental shelf communities. That's it for continental shelf. Like I said, we're going to spend basically all next unit talking about the pelagic organisms, the fish that live in these communities. But I really just wanted to talk about the primary producers in them right now. Stay tuned for the next lesson, which is going to be on the deep ocean. And that's it. Thanks a lot for listening.